Hi everyone! Well, in today's tutorial we're going to make something like this, as you see, and after this session you're probably able to make stuff like this and even better. It just takes some practice and effort. So for now I'm just going to set this all to preview so that we can have a blank space, and let's make it from the first step together. I'm gonna keep this curve for later, but if you don't have it in your scene, it's okay, you don't need it for now. So to start, I'm going to add a basic shape like a circle, and we're going to talk more about polygons and rectangle for later. So basically circles work with one parameter, which is the radius, and that's what makes them so easier to use. To have a handle for changing the radius, if you remember from the past video, we're gonna need a number slider. Also, by right-clicking on the radius part of the component, you can set a single number as radius. For our next step, let's go to Rhino space and make a column just like what we need. This will help us to know better what we're gonna do for the next level. I'm just gonna explain quickly. So we need a base curve, and then I need some copies of that. And next we can change their level and scale. And lastly is to use the Loft Tool to have the final column. Okay, we're going back to Grasshopper. We already saw that we need a copy of our base shape. In order to have that, I'm gonna search for Move Tool. So whenever you add a tool into Grasshopper space, you can see what exactly it needs to work. For moving anything, we need our geometry and a specific direction. As you see, we have our circle for the geometry here. After I add the shape to move, it works somehow, but we're not done here. As I said, we need a specific direction. For now, if I search for Z unit, it will appear quickly. And I'm gonna choose that and connect it to the next part for my move tool. Also, we need a number slider to adjust the height. I can just copy the one from before and make changes in it if it needs. Which shape I need to connect to scale? Well, I know I need a shape inside the moved one, so I'm gonna connect that one to scale. You can see a smaller circle appears, but it's not inside the other one as we wanted. There's a tool here that helps us to find the center point of each shape. I'm gonna search for area tool here. So with this tool, you can add your geometry and the output would be a center point. This point, as I said, helps to make a reference for the other shapes. Here is for the inner circle. As I connect the center of my moved shape to the scaled one, they will be placed in the same level. As always, we can again add a number slider or assign a number to factor parameter. We're getting closer to finish the column now. One last curve is a copy version of the scaled circle, so we all know this can be done by Move Tool. I add it, and this time I connect the scaled shape as my geometry. I'm just gonna use the Z unit and number slider from before. A quick tip here is if you want to align some boxes, just select them and use the little align option on any side you want. I just like my sliders to be more organized. One last step to make this basic column is to loft all these curves. So I'm gonna search for loft and add all my curves by holding Shift key. This allows me to add multiple geometries to one tool. if the result seems a bit weird, we can just go to options of the Loft Tool and find the straight option and apply it to the column. And as you see, the final result then becomes what we expected. Okay, here it seems we're done with the column, which is entirely parametric. We can also play with the numbers to reach what we have in mind later. What I'm looking for here is a series of columns, so I'm going to bring back that straight line from before, or you can just make one. To have multiple geometries along a curve, first I must add my curve to Grasshopper, which we have talked about before. Then we should give some specific points, which are the places I need my columns to sit. I'm going to search for divide length here to make these points on my curve. So divide tool here needs my curve and length, which we know is a number, to help me with cutting this curve into even parts. And then the points appear on my curve. I'm going to change my viewport to front so you can see better. The last tool I'm going to talk about here is Orient. So whenever you need to put some geometry on some specific referenced places, you can use this tool. So I connect my geometry, which is the column we made earlier, and the target points that I made on my curve. Okay, so I think that would be okay for now. And if you have any changes or shapes in mind, I suggest you to explore and have fun with it. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Stay tuned for the future videos and thanks for watching. Bye.